Hi, I'm Kate. Today we're going to look at what's blooming in my yard right now in Shawnee, Kansas, Zone 6B. It's the beginning of August, and honestly, we've been really blessed this year with some great rain, some cool temperatures. So I would say things are looking better than normal for the beginning of August. However, I'm trying to decide, is it because I'm doing such a great job with my gardening and with choosing plants that will look good at all seasons, or have we just had a really good year? So I guess only time will tell, but I'm super pleased with how things are looking right now. Look at the dark red on the morning glory. That matches the coleus. Isn't that pretty?
Even though I don't do a lot of cut flowers and bring them in, I do grow dahlias, and I really only bring them in if maybe a stem breaks off or something. But I grow them because they're just the quintessential perfect flower to me. Well, I think Zinnias and Dahlias might share that title. I start these dahlias inside in late March or early April. They don't take long to get going. I just put the bare roots into some moistened compost mix, and then I don't water again until I start to see some green, unless they look really dry. I'll start to see some green, and then I'll start watering them like any other potted plant, and they end up being a really good size by the time I can get them in the ground in May. For me, they're blooming in June. If I put the bare roots straight into the ground in May, then I won't get blooms until September, and then we have our first frost in October, so this is really making a big difference. This particular dahlia is the Crepe Myrtles, and it's definitely at the top of my list right now. In this next picture, it's backlit, and you would think it was photoshopped. The colors are so bright, but this is just what it looks like in the beautiful morning light. Here are the two packages that I bought from Costco this year. So it is Thomas Edison and Lilac Time, and Lilac Bowl and Crepe Myrtles.
Here I was growing this Abelia for the foliage. This is the Kaleidoscope Abelia, and I'm really enjoying these blooms. They kind of remind me of like an understated azalea, which we can't grow azaleas very well in Kansas City. I'm sure some people have luck with them, but in general, they're a challenge here. So this is just a nice little surprise for me. Really enjoying it. And of course, these will get a lot bigger. I just put these in, and the three of them were sharing one container. So I have really optimistic high hopes for this little area. I believe this is the Gatsby pink. And I really love the way that it looks next to the other incredible hydrangea.
This Oakleaf hydrangea definitely holds the pink color a little bit better than any of the other ones that I have in my garden.
I was just inside waiting for my lunch to cook, and I glanced outside and what to my wondering eyes did I see, but my water hyacinth is blooming, which is so exciting because I don't really expect this to bloom because it's in a lot of shade. Isn't that gorgeous? I don't know if it's because it's getting a little more sun from us trimming the trees, but I was just like, oh, gotta come out and take a look at that right away. So exciting.
This pink flower is the Grape Bellini, Crepe Myrtle, and in front of it, the red flower is Pentas. I went ahead and planted the Pentas here in the spring because at that point, the Crepe Myrtles were showing no signs of life, so I kind of didn't want to trust that they were going to come back because I did plant these Crepe Myrtles just at the very end of summer last year, and it was kind of hot, and so I just wasn't confident they were going to come back. So I think that they look okay together for now, but next year I'll try to be patient and just let the Crepe Myrtles shine. This is the Cherry Mocha Barista Crepe Myrtle. While we're on the subject of crepe myrtles, I just can't say enough about what a wonderful late summer shrub this is. It blooms late summer, it has fabulous leaves. The only really negative I can see about this plant is that, well, it does die back to the ground and then it's late to come up. But if you can just put some spring bulbs where it is or something like that, you can really take advantage of this wonderful shrub. This is my Millennium Allium, which is definitely in its peak bloom right now in early August. It is in the onion family, so rabbits and deer aren't really going to mess with it, which is huge for me because I'm dealing with a lot of rabbit pressure right now. It is covered in little tiny pollinators and bees all the time. It's humming with activity. And I will say that if you have a lot of hot and dry, then the blooms don't last as long. They're doing a little bit better this year than they do some years. The black-eyed Susans are just such a tried and true plant for me. They bloom for a long time. They bloom in August when a lot of things have really pooped out. This particular variety, I don't know the name of, someone gave it to me. It flops pretty bad, but I'm sure that if you were to buy, a newer, improved variety, that the flopping might not be a problem for you. I really like the yellow with the zinnias. These are the Bennery's Giant Wine zinnias.
Here's my Zahara Cherry Zinnia. It's doing really well for me. I've tried to buy shorter zinnias in the pots at stores, and they haven't done well for me. And I think that it's something about, so these I grew from seed, and I think something about like getting them in early while they're small has helped me to keep these going this year.
I was filming when I realized that this guy was just hovering right behind me, so I just turned around and filmed him for a bit. I don't know if he was checking me out or what.
My Roguchi Clematis has started blooming again. It's still mostly blooming kind of back behind there where I can't see it, which is why I'm going to move it. And I haven't had a lot of luck moving clematis before, but this one's really hardy, so I'm hoping that it will go better. But it's too much right here. I've got the Japanese maple on the left and this oak leaf on the right, and this Roguchi Clematis just looks like a mess. I don't know if I've ever really even shown it in a tour because it just doesn't look good where it is, but it's a really pretty, wonderful plant. So I just have to find the right spot for it. But it is blooming right now, and I do love the shape of these bell blooms, and it's a really vigorous grower. So if you're into that, which I am, then this is definitely one you should try.
In my mailbox garden, the Sirius blue salvia, or Sirius blue sage, is still going strong. I've not deadheaded this at all this year, so this has been blooming since June and looking wonderful. And then below that, I have the Cardinal basil, which earlier in the season the flowers looked almost black, but I like it a little bit better now. It's looking a little bit more of a reddish purple, and this will just bloom forever. I really enjoy growing basils that have ornamental value, mostly because they're just really easy to grow from seed, which is how I grew this one. This cardinal basil does flop a little bit. Here it's kind of flopping over the rock wall, so you would want to give it some support or just put it somewhere where you don't mind it flopping. These Petite knockout roses have been really fun. There was one lull in the blooms, and I deadheaded them, and now they've come back. And I mean, I could deadhead them again. You can see that there are some spent blooms on here, but if you look up close, the spent blooms just look kind of like antique and pretty. I actually think they're kind of sweet, and especially when you cut them, just when they're away from the more rich colors of the new blooms, they do look really pretty. So this has just been really nice to grow, and I like having it in with the sedum. It's all kind of low growing, and the kind of fuchsia pink red blooms of the rose look really nice against the green in the sedum. This is the Sweet Summer Panicle Hydrangea, and I've shown it before. It is starting to flop. We've had a lot of rain, and it's starting to flop a little bit. It's not bothering me too much. I enjoy the repetition of having this Sweet Summer Hydrangea and then the Limelight further back. I like that I can have two different varieties and see what they both do, but from far away, you know, they really look like they go together and they're repeating. But I do think I realized why it's called Sweet Summer. I always thought that the blooms looked really sweet, and they do, but I've really been noticing a sweet fragrance coming from them this year, and I hadn't noticed that before, so that's probably why I got that name. And then this is the Summerific Holy Grail hibiscus that I just planted in the video about my plant purchase confessions about a week ago. It's doing great.
Here's my first anemone that's ever really bloomed because it's been covered with a bunny cover all season. I just now uncovered it. I'm going to do some rabbit repellent, and hopefully it's still here tomorrow.
This is the Sunday Wine Red Celosia, which I 100% will grow again next year. I think it's so gorgeous. I love the leaves. I love the flowers. I grew 3 kinds of Celosia this year. It was my first time trying it, and this one is the keeper for sure. This purple pillar rose of Sharon hedge, there's just 3 of them, but it's making me so happy right now. It's doing exactly what I wanted it to do, as far as I've trimmed it back a little bit, and so it's narrow, it's tall, it's blooming. I'm going to trim it a little more in the future so that it'll be a little bit more full, but I'm really happy with my purple pillar rose of Sharon.
This is the Downy Skullcap that I recently showed in my native video, but it's just opening more and more. You can see I have some fresh blooms coming too, and I'm really happy with the Downy Skullcap right now.
Surely I'm not the only one that does this, but do you ever take pictures of all of the flowers that you deadheaded and just think they're really beautiful?
I'm enjoying the kind of layers here. So we have the Impatiens, some ultraviolet Impatiens is what those were labeled, and then my pot, and then in the back we have more Impatiens in that hosta blooming. And of course the incredible Hydrangea. It just rained today, and I'm like, everything looks so good right after a rain.
Here I have some hosta blooms, which I know a lot of people cut them off, but I think as long as they're pretty, I'll go ahead and leave them. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed what's blooming in my garden in August in Kansas. Hope you have a wonderful day and get out in your own garden. Don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss any of my videos.